Okay, we are fully locked and loaded. We are blowing everything up because we have 2 Omega Metroids to hunt.
We literally started this part off with a bang.
It's like, well, we're blowing everything up because we're Samus. I'm pretty sure that's part of our daily Devil Name routine to blow stuff up. Like, is there a Metroid game that doesn't involve like high explosives?
Yes.
Care to elaborate?
It may be. But did blast ball or boost ball, whatever, contain explosives?
I would be shocked if it did, but that's just you can just mix that in with Federation Force because it's pretty much the same damn thing.
Okay. Then yeah. Oh, and I guess there was another. And I guess just thinking off the top of my head, there's one game that I don't know if we'll ever be able to show it off. Is Metroid Prime Hunters.
Mm-hmm. That's the DS game.
It wasn't like made for multiplayer, or was there an actual story?
There's a story mode to it.
Oh, I guess maybe I will have to do that. I'll have to see how it controls.
It is on the Wii U Virtual Console if you want to play it that way.
And I do have that. Where does it take place in the franchise?
In between 1 and 2.
Who made it? Because I'm pretty sure it wasn't Retro.
It was NST, the same people that made the Mario vs. Donkey Kong games.
Okay.
Oh. Well.
Yeah.
We did it. I love that. I love that effect. Yeah. Well then. Oh.
Oh no, you don't.
I need that Aeon Energy extension and. Okay, well, crap.
I mean, to be fair, do you really need it, considering how beefed up you are now?
It is the principle of the matter, good sir.
Hey, Logan.
It's one extra hit. What's up, Matt?
I would say you don't need to bother with Metroid Prime Hunters, but to also be fair, there is a very important character in the story that does show up later.
Yeah, he was introduced with Hunters, and they've definitely been making a bigger deal out of them in recent memory.
Pretty much, from everybody's knowledge, he's most likely going to be the main antagonist of 4.
More than
going
likely.
off of what Federation Force ended with and what he's leading up to.
Not even just that, but Metroid Prime 3 ended off with his ship literally following Samus as she was heading off.
Basically put, the only reason why to play Hunter is because of that one story beat.
Then I mean, I guess I can.
You know what?
We've done worse.
I was about to say, I recognize that, but counter argument, you could just look up the cutscene on YouTube.
Well, I guess I should say, is he brought up at all? Okay, when he's reintroduced in, say, I think it's 3. When he's reintroduced, is it expecting you to have the knowledge of him from Hunters, or does it kind of do a decent? Does it do that thing that some games do?
I will say it doesn't pull a Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, so it does do the kind of thing where once he's introduced, like the game itself will just outright tell you enough about him to understand what's going on.
No, not really. You only really see him in the very end cutscene. That's
okay. Then crap. Yeah, we will.
Well, I think
we will
he
need
means
to play Hunters to show off what's going on there.
Well, I guess what he means is like even with the limited amount of appearance, would it be one of those things where it's like, well, why is he here? I guess I should play Hunters to understand.
It's more so a case where you just see, like, say if you've never played or even know about Hunters, it's just gonna come off as like he just pops in. He's like, the first thing in my mind is like, what the fuck is this guy?
Also,
right. So I think for the sake of that, I should do something for Hunters just so we have the context.
Also, Hunters is the only game I can actually think of. Oh, hi.
Ooh.
Hunters is the only game I can think of in the entire series that we actually see Samus do bounty hunting.
Yeah?
Then I will say I will probably do that. I just hope he controls well. I never played it before.
I won't deny she does bounty work here. Couldn't you make the argument that she's technically doing bounty work in this game as well?
Bounty hunting and being a mercenary are 2 completely different things.
This is clearly a case of mercenary work.
Yeah, mercenary work is being paid in advance. Bounty hunting is hunting the person down to be paid.
Right, like so basically the best way I could describe it, going off what they're saying, hype is the Federation contracted and told Samus to do this. Hunters is her acting completely on her own to find other things.
Come to think of it, was that really the case in Hunters?
Maybe, but
that's why I imagine bounty
hunting
is...
I still feel like that's a case where she still got contacted by the Federation to deal with this threat.
Actually, I wanna. Oh, sorry.
The thing is, she started off on her own accord doing that, though.
Fair.
And also, she is hunting them down to, kind of get paid.
Oh, we got your space jump
and
skills
get
down.
their bounty. So technically, yes, she is bounty hunting in that game.
Okay.
Okay.
I will ask, like, as far as like mercenary work goes, has there ever been a game where she was like contacted to do work from someone other than the Federation?
Nope, most of her paychecks came from the Federation.
There was the one time by
Hey,
General Pepper,
Samus!
and there was that one time by Kirby, but we don't talk about that.
But no,
Like, how do you pay me? In friendship and gratitude. I hate this planet.
It did work. It did happen that one time.
You know
Anywho,
what, though?
but yeah, so I'll be
I'm just saying, though, that, you know, someday they should just up and let the two franchises cross over, Star Fox and Metroid.
Okay, for a minute,
So
I
I
thought
think the two work. I think the two work each other. Same with freaking F-Zero and that. Like, just we got so many bounty hunters. Let them do something.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you were about to say have Metroid and Kirby coexist in a crossover, because I was about to say that'd be quite a tonal whiplash.
I mean, technically they already do.
There is still a part of me, deep inside my soul, that is somehow praying and hoping that somehow sparks of hope can fit Samus in somewhere.
I mean, it wouldn't be completely out of left field considering
Because
its premise.
Because I love that one video or that one image that's like, I can't believe this is a still from a Mario game and not a Samus game.
I know, right? Like, before you even see them in the spaceship, it's just a random ship out in space.
And then when you finally see it, it's like, Plumber's Log, 37.
Don't forget
I've
we're
been on
doing-
the ship for the last... Go ahead.
don't forget we're doing that game live, and I'm playing
That's
it.
you.
Also, you know what? What's funny is, I imagine if they were gonna, like, incorporate Samus in some fashion, it'd either be, like, a piece of weaponry based on Samus, or just a Samus rabbit.
I mean, what if that's the currently undiscovered 9th playable character for the game?
Oh, you mean
Could
the
be.
green-haired one?
No. There's one other character.
Yeah, there's only been like what 6 or 7 that's been confirmed so far.
Right, there's that. Then there's that other green hair rabbit, which we don't know what its story is yet. And then there's another character that has not been revealed yet. I will still say,
the safest bet is probably going to be Bowser, but at the same time, there's still room for surprises.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like it'd be...
I'm still looking for... Go ahead.
It would make sense for it to be Bowser. I mean, he's right there on the cover, so it's clear that they're going to be using him more here than they did in the first game.
Can I make a suggestion?
What's up?
Yes.
Or an insight? They didn't add... If they were going to do that with Samus and all that, or any other Nintendo character not involving them, DLC, like the Donkey Kong one.
Yeah, no, I would love a
that's not-
Samus
that's not
DLC
ruled out.
expansion.
Oh boy.
Oh my god, this thing does not want to die. Look at how red it is. Die!
It's like...
That's
Oh,
it.
dude.
I'm killing you with all this. I'm killing you with
I just
missiles.
love that it's like, I can't believe this creature doesn't want to die. What's wrong with it?
Because look at it. Look how blood red it is. Done. There. Just remembered it should be blowing up right now.
I mean, it is the second to last one. It would make sense that would show some resistance.
That is true. That is it. That was our last Omega Metroid and the last one in this quadrant. Not quadrant, this region.
And also kind of the
So-
last... And also there is only one more.
Yep.
So
One
we're on our way
more
to the next
bounty
area.
to hunt.
No, it'd be
Well, that's
funny
really done it.
if it was just a regular old alpha.
That would be nice, like bookending way. But for now, we're gonna get through here and say
I mean-
that going off of what Hype said, I would not be against them having Easter egg in the sense of one of the weapons Mario can equip it's supposed to look like a power cannon. And I'm still looking forward to all that setup. Just gonna move through here. Almost there.
Considering that, yeah, no, like Mario's original weapon used to be just a simple Mega Man-esque arm cannon. I'm surprised they didn't up and do that the first time.
Do we have a release window for that game yet?
2022.
I think next
that's
year.
all
Yeah,
there
next
is.
year. So we'll keep an eye on that next year. For now, Kerchunk. Finally, to think that we've come almost, over 39 Metroids later.
It all comes down to this.
Alright, so we'll head back down here. Whoop.
You know, I
die.
knew you were talking about the creature itself. When you said 39 Metroids, I thought you meant like 39 Metroid games, and I could just hear people going, God, I wish.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if we're reaching that point.
Well, with Dread, maybe.
If we count re-releases and port-ups, it's possible.
What though? Should
I don't
those
know.
really count, though?
I mean, honestly, actually go back a bit. Like, when you said 39 Metroids, I thought what you were about to say was 39 Metroids blasted on the wall, 39 blasted up Metroids.
You take a missile, blow out,
we came to town, we shot them down, and now there's 38 Metroids on the... Anyway, those 2 rooms I passed by just lead to an Aeon expansion tank. I don't think it's worth my time. I'm just gonna continue forward. It's a whole puzzle room. I just do
Logan
not
says
care
that,
to
and
deal
then
with it.
accidentally needs it later.
Do you?
No. I'm
Well,
making
I
a
was
dumb
asking
joke.
him. He was the one that recorded it.
I did not actually need it. Don't worry. Besides, look at how even that HUD looks. Do I want to risk compromising the integrity of my visual symmetry?
You're just saying that because you don't want to put in the extra work in case that was the case.
Yeah.
Ow. Ow.
Get out of here. Oh, this part sucks, by the way. I ended up spending way longer than I was supposed to because it's so many breakable walls, and some of them only break from a certain direction. You can't land on them properly, and then that guy kept bumping me there. I'm just...
I am so done with today. I just want to go back to my ship and have some hot chocolate.
I just want to scream.
Remember when the screw attack screws everything?
Hence its name.
That's what it was supposed to do. But here they make certain platforms only breakable from one direction. And...
Story time.
Yeah, as we said, the
shit.
Metroids work too well.
We didn't
They
know they
evolved.
could evolve.
Yeah, actually, I genuinely don't think they knew they could evolve, and so yeah, hence why crap hit the fan real fast.
This is why bioorganic weapons are not always the safest solution.
What do you mean creatures grow up?
I mean, I guess I genuinely thought. My guess is hype. They genuinely thought they had invented a biohazardous toy poodle, and did not think it was actually going to. And they genuinely did not think it was going to become into a pit bull right
Imagine
away.
how much differently Astro Boy would have furthered on if instead of being a simple robot, he was a bioorganic creation.
Look, I'm just...
Maybe he could grow up just like 10 to 1 and into, and the whole thing would just have ended rather anticlimactically.
Look,
I genuinely think there's some kind of edgy, gripping, alt universe that is out there.
I think there is.
I'm
It's
just-
probably called Pluto.
I'm just curious as to why you mentioned the dogs from the first Hulk movie.
Oh,
Oh, that's right.
Those,
Well,
the Hulk
I was about to
dogs.
say only one of them is, so I was like, oh no, wait, the other one was a bulldog. That Hulk punches in the nuts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the ones that they made a common enemy in the Hulk video game.
Right.
Yes. And that was, again, that video game was my introduction to things like, Half-Life and Rampage, or Ravage, whatever his name is. And the leader. That was my introduction to the guy.
Which
the
I
leader.
wish
and,
they could
honestly, the more I look at that PS2 game, the more I wish that was the movie we got.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of a thing with a lot of, the movie-based games back then. Like, look at Spider-Man 2 back then. Like, that had way more, villains and whatnot than the final game did.
Yeah. Or the final movie did. So.
Well, you know what.
What's up, Matt?
I forgot.
Oh, we were talking about the
We were
Hulk,
talking about the
Hulk
leader.
dogs in the game.
Oh, right.
The Hulk and the leader.
I kind of wish they bring the leader back. Oh no, maybe it'll be in the She-Hulk show.
Maybe. I mean, they have the excuse, and I'm sure the actor would love to return and play a villain.
Would be fun.
I do love Tim Blake Nelson, though he'd be a weird leader. It'd be a unique casting choice.
I mean,
You know,
I don't
Lawrence-
see how...
I'm sorry, I'm just suddenly having this meta sense of humor, thinking that what we don't realize is that our commentary is literally just a podcast that she's listening to while exterminating all the Metroids.
You know what? I can just imagine that now, when I just... while she's, doing exterminating the Metroids, she's about to blast one of them, she stops, put a hand to her helmet, and goes, why are they talking about Jellystone?
I know, right?
Wait a minute. Are they actually claiming that? Are they actually claiming that there's good points to Shadow the Hedgehog? Nobody liked that game.
I wasn't even there for that. I'm happy I wasn't there for that.
Well, that's
No, I'm
right,
just
you
talking
weren't.
about I'm just talking about just things I've done in general.
Oh.
Also, yeah, this is our. I'd also say this is probably our last
And for
kind of
God,
puzzle thing.
and for God's sakes, who cares about what jelly you like on your sandwich?
They're all viable options except for grape.
But what about grape jelly and mustard?
Run. Okay.
Again, I know that's a Link reference, but I still love the gag Logan had in mind, where it's like,
He looks at the interrogation
oh
room
yeah, like Vince
mustard.
sticks his head out, it's like, mustard?
Mustard, like, just blowing the entire operation. Anyway, we're getting out here because we are, I don't know what you would call this. I guess you would call this, like, either some Chozo hub, or this was, I mean, let's call it what it is. Basically, we're reaching the Metroid nest.
Yeah, I mean, it clearly looks nest-like.
I call it an architectural mess because the foundation of this area is just all over the place.
Go that.
And I want a trampoline. You heard him. The boy wants a trampoline.
So
Well,
you
the
got,
last
so you gotta
time
do
we
it,
didn't
or am I
order-
gonna have to beat you right in front of the kid?
Child. What was that, Matt?
Nothing.
You sure?
Yep.
Alright.
Well, for now, our beeper's going off the track.
Yeah,
What the?
oh, what?
Huh?
Oh shit!
Wait, what?
Oh, what?
Oh.
Oh, babies!
It's a
They-
babe.
Yeah, and as you can already tell from the thing down there, as I'm rapidly swapping between ice and missiles, which I love that I can do in this game. Yeah, crap. There's now 10 more Metroids that are not supposed to be here.
Oops.
Yeah, I mean, on the bright side, they're pretty easy to take out because they're just infants.
Yeah,
Yep,
but
which by this point you should understand how to kill them.
I'm actually
ice
a little.
beam,
I'm actually a
5
little
missiles.
sad you didn't just use one simple, like for each one, just one simple super bomb.
Super missile.
Yeah, super missile.
Because I did that. I'm mainly doing it because the chances of them dropping a super missile aren't as high.
yeah.
Fair.
So I do this so I can get the missiles right back. But
Yeah.
otherwise, and the other thing that they point out is that since the ice beam got a little nerfed, I pretty much am having to do this where I'm swapping between the two because they do not stay frozen for long in this game. So you got to be quick on the draw. But yeah, so far, I mean, I'm like, hell, I wish it was this easy throughout the whole game. Oh, hey.
No kidding.
Yeah.
At least they were kind enough to give us some free health and missile refills.
Yeah.
I like to note that you're probably the only man who is able to do this because anybody who played this on the original 3DS aren't able to do this.
No, there's no way they would have been able to like swap back. Well, actually, no. Here you just have to hold the R button. and,
Oh,
like,
right, sorry.
Regardless, no, you're fine. But just in terms of swapping from power beam to missile and high. Either way, emulation master.
Oh, God, stop it! I'm not your goddamn mama.
Fun fact, I realize now. Fun fact: that cutscene was supposed to play with the first Metroid we saw, but I was just too panicky.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, no, it plays that the first time you get hit by one. But again, go into Morph Ball, bomb, it'll kick them off. And the last, there we go. Now then, it's
I'm
time to
afraid
find
of
that
commitment.
Now it's time to find that one goddamn Metroid that
I think we found him.
I'm sure that's nothing.
Better safe than sorry, and trust me, you're gonna need that because, welcome to probably the most obnoxious boss in the entire game.
Well, coming back, we'll jump down here.
Woo!
I don't
It's
have
the
a very bad
critter.
feeling about where I'm at. I have a very,
It's
very
not
bad
just
feeling.
it's not just any critter hype. It's the queen of them critters.
Oh, the Metroid Queen.
Yeah. And that's an interesting looking tongue. Regardless,
Is that tongue?
locking.
Just
It
out of
looks like a
context.
tongue or a pointer.
Just out of context, that's a very interesting looking tongue.
Anyway, yep, the Metroid, the Metroid Queen, which isn't this the Mother Brain? This is the Mother Brain Monster music remix. Super Metroid.
Is it?
Oh.
Yeah, no, this right here is a remix of the song that plays when Mother Brain goes all freaking mutant on you.
I don't entirely hear it, but
No, I don't hear
it's
it.
Similar.
The da-da-da-da. I will fucking play it for you later.
Oh boy. You will believe me.
I
or-
mean, it might be a similar, chorus, but I don't think it's the exact same one.
Counter!
Oh boy.
And grapple her down.
There you go.
And
This is gonna
put on the
hurt.
shield. Put on the shield so that you don't take too much damage. And have this.
Oh my God.
And I will say... And I will say,
I
honestly,
shouldn't have ate those hot wings.
No, I will say, honestly, she probably is pretty powerful with the fact that she was able to stomach that and is still kicking.
Yeah, but that doesn't make her any less angry.
Oop.
Make sure you drop, otherwise if you're on the ceiling, that'll stun you. She knocks you down.
Yeah, no.
But-
Just otherwise, like I said, this boss fight can really, really test your patience and your health.
Oh boy.
Use Magnet Ball and move forward. 'Cause even with Magnet Ball, that will push you forward. I'm serious.
Sorry, just when she does that, like pushing back, like when pushing back yell, I just have this dumb mental image of while she's doing that, just the sound clip of.
I'm thinking of the dragon from Rayman Legends of like that. I will still say though, like all in all, they make this feel badass, and I enjoy that.
Yeah, and I do think that unlike last time, it is mandatory to a power bomb or stomach.
I think so. You can miss that counter. I don't know. Maybe. Well, either way, make sure you understand your things.
It might be. It's much more preferred though, considering otherwise, again, this is a massive pain.
What did you think of this boss, Matt?
It's a nice boss. You know, for a final boss, I'm not sure about, but a very nice boss.
Well, it's not like all
I don't
bosses.
know. I
are
feel very
different.
final boss worthy to me.
I think
I
so
don't
too.
know,
It definitely feels more final. It definitely kind of feels more final bossy than if you
boy.
look at the original
That's fair.
Metroid Queen fight.
I do
which is
like
just kinda
this
stuck her neck
boss
out.
though.
I understand.
We weren't saying you shouldn't.
We weren't saying you shouldn't. Oh, hang on. Watch where her head is moving. Oh, got it.
There you go. Time for. You had your breakfast, you had your lunch and dinner. Now it's time for some dessert.
Yeah.
Hope you're in the mood for a cherry cream pie.
No, how about a chocolate bomb?
We did it, I think. Yes.
Yeah, we got her. Like, damn, you actually wasted her. You wasted her effortlessly there.
Just gotta understand the positioning of the spider magnet thing.
That is how you skin a Metroid.
So, I guess that's it.
Samus is there thinking, I need to work on my one-liners for the next mission.
But thankfully, no one's around to hear me.
So yeah, that's it. We're done. All the Metroids have been exterminated. We can go home.
Yep,
Hang on,
every
there's one
single
Metroid egg
one.
left.
Except for
Hang on.
the baby.
I'll kill it. Mama. Why isn't it scared or attacking? Mama.
Samus could have just launched that blaster at any given point, but then she's like, huh.
Well, people,
Why are you following me?
meet the baby.
Basic-
Yep, the Metroid larva that's become both famous and infamous within the franchise.
Famous because it's famous because it's
Yeah.
pretty cute. Infamous because the baby.
Effectively, what ended up happening is that because we were the first thing it saw, we imprinted on it.
Yep.
You mean she
imprinted
imprinted
on
on
us.
us? Yes.
How I was gonna say however that works. Regardless,
Doesn't that bother you? Nope.
well, so yep. Welcome to the post game, technically, which is that if you've been wondering what to do with those blue little crystal things,
Like these? No, no.
it's their breakfast.
I mean, it's
So-
a nice breakfast substitute, which
As-
I know with the original Metroid 2, like once you found the baby, like the Metroid larva, that was literally it. You just had to go through a very linear hallway right back to your ship, and that's more or less all she wrote.
Also, I'm a little
Here,
sad none of your stuff refills.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to find another point later. And
You
what was
know-
that, James, about how this game handles the post game?
You gotta pretty much backtrack through the entire freaking thing. Also, kind of clever that you left the save on for that long. You let me demonstrate, but the entire post game for this game does involve having the baby Metroid with you at all times.
Gotcha.
Yep. So so now you could go through all these areas and have it eat those little blue crystals.
Unfortunately, this also leads to probably one of the more obnoxious bits of post game grind up, because a good handful of the stuff you need to collect does require the baby Metroid.
It takes a long
Yeah.
while.
You know, I think
Go ahead.
it would be funny if while you're going through destroying the remaining creatures, like they would recognize the baby Metroid, and it's like, Gina, how could you?
But yeah, so for the sake of this commentary, like I said, I'm not for this for this and actually I guess a couple other games. I'm not going to care too much about the post game. I'm just gonna just get back to the ship, complete the mission, and hope that the Federation has plans for a +1. Oh,
Well, I mean, it's funny considering that by the time we get to Return of actually not Return, we're already playing Return of Samus, Super Metroid. Technically, it was Samus's own contribution to the cause.
Hey, I found the baby Metroid. It kind of imprinted on me, and now I'm abandoning it. So, have fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was all for the sake of science. It's just a shame that in the process of doing so, it pretty much
We'll get to it when we get to the game.
Yes, we will.
Yep.
Oh, we will.
With that said, as you can see there, bam, full
yes.
circle.
Well,
Now
not
let's look at our
before.
last thing, which is the Chozo lore showing that it was at this point that the Chozo Elder, I'll call him, the short guy with all the big feathers, created the Chozo DNA locks to guard them with that purple lava.
You
Not
mean the
even gonna
Metroid
begin to
DNA?
ask- Yes. Honestly, not even going to begin to question why that's the case, but lo and behold, we're just about up to, we're pretty much at the home stretch now.
Yep.
Just double it back. It's like, oh, forgot my cherries.
And my personal belongings.
And all that. And the car keys.
What, you could drive? Wait, the baby could drive?
Yes.
The baby's the one that drove the ship back.
And left us here. No.
No, what the baby would do is constantly put the car alarm on repeat.
It's so easily amused.
Like any baby would.
Heck, any baby would. It's the most expensive way we could. It's the most efficient and expensive way we can introduce the concept of jingling keys in front of a baby's face in the year 3000.
And this is pretty much what would convince Samus to change her fucking car alarm.
Been to the year
Oh, man.
3000. I have that song stuck in my head now.
Oh. And
Well,
also, damn, does that?
I
Do
could
we have to
say-
get rid of? Do we have to drop the gag now?
Well, I don't
I mean-
think I like that. Like, I don't think we have to drop the idea of her having a stupid car alarm. It just has to be a different song.
I mean,
I
honestly,
haven't,
again, it's funny considering that, again,
Well, guys,
I was the one that had
hold
to
on.
remind you that was a thing.
I
We
will
got a
say,
little bit of time, Matt. Don't worry.
Okay.
What you're talking about, it doesn't happen just yet. It happens when we get up to the top of this mountain.
Okay, well, we had a pretty nice final boss, pretty nice time. You know,
Good run.
Yeah.
Honestly, cleaned out the planet real quick.
I mean, the ending, it goes on for a little longer than I thought it would. But it looks like we're about to leave. Or are we?
I
Hang
love how
on.
she pets her gun like it's a dog.
She's gonna go. He's
She
gonna go
doesn't
start the ship.
Pet the gun. And there we go.
Oh,
Meet the true final boss.
Because it can't be a Metroid game if I don't appear in it in some fashion.
Welcome to Nintendo's Joker to Samus's Batman.
But-
Ridley is back.
But also, witness the whole, like, this one small thing gives a tiny connector between Prime and the main universe.
Yeah, because
Oh,
he's
yeah,
covered in
this is
armor.
Meta Ridley.
No, this isn't armor. This is Meta Ridley.
well,
Well,
yeah,
this is Cyborg Ridley.
I
kind
guess,
of.
like-
Mind you, remember, this takes place after the entire Prime series, so by this point, Meta really got its shit wrecked. This is pretty much
I
just the Space Pirates' attempt to actually organically restructure Ridley.
And meanwhile, the
hang on,
other.
I have to talk about this part real quick because I love it. I'm sorry. Every time I play this game, this part always cracks me up
Dude.
because I'm pissed.
Oh, now you made me angry, Sammy.
After all that, like he's not even just. Yeah, I'm killing her now.
So
Yeah.
I will definitely say, like many, I do agree that this kind of just came out of left field. Not even like it definitely feels kind of forced.
But to
at
be
the same time, though, best fight in the game easily.
I think it's really good.
well, best
Go ahead,
fight, and
good.
I'm going to say, to be fair about the whole Ridley just kind of showing up, that's kind of what he's been doing throughout the entire series. He just kind of
Shut up.
shows up when you least suspect.
Oh. Okay.
I've
Yeah,
heard
But
I would-
at the same time, this is kind of like the most egregious example of that.
That's fair.
But I would
Because
definitely
Metroid
say
2 was a game that never had like any sort of semblance to him
Oh
being
boy.
there, and then all of a sudden, Samus Returns is like, no, he was there all the time. You just never got to see it.
But I will
Mike?
say I do. Ow. Go ahead, hype.
My guess is that they probably did this to give a justification as to why he appears in the opening of Super.
Yeah, that because he was this now introduces the concept that he was always after this baby Metroid. Oh boy.
And even in a baby state, it's still pretty strong to drain Ridley like that.
Also,
right, but not enough to kill it. So that's
and
why he's
also,
still
yeah,
fucking
that's honestly a cool thing that even the baby does like. Even before Super Metroid and whatnot, he still helps you out with this fight.
Oh.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
if you don't jump over him, he does that.
no, that is brutal. But anyway, before I forget, the one joke I was about to say, like, we were talking about, like, the fact that he kind of has, like, the cybernetics makes it feel like, oh, yeah, this makes sense if you, like, play with the Prime games. Meanwhile, the other M director's like, oh, what are you talking about? The Prime games aren't canon.
Well, no. To be fair, that's one of those cases where the fans kind of over dramatize that whole thing. It's a matter that he does consider it canon. It's just a matter that deep down, it's not gonna. What's the word?
Whatever happens in
directly
Prime
affecting the
does
plot.
does not affect anything in the main games, vice versa.
Exactly.
Well, yeah,
It's primarily a side story.
Ooh, a little bit more.
Stuff that could happen, but isn't ultimately necessary for the rest of the series.
Yes. So as far as this boss is concerned, I will agree that
I think he
it's my favorite just
legitimately
because-
knocked you out
I
of
think
healing.
this. I think so. I think this game is my favorite. Not this game. I think this boss may be my favorite because I think it makes the most out of my whole movement.
Without
Like,
without it feeling cheap.
Right, I'm able to like space jump all around him and move around and like, it's really good. And get over him! Haha! Ow! His damn tail. And yeah, he hit me out of my healing because it took me until I think a little bit later into this fight, Matt, that I didn't realize that's his counterpoint. So you can actually counter him. But for now, we just need to get him a little bit lower. Nice and red. I do like this Ridley design, by the way. Looks cool.
Oh yeah, no, it looks pretty cool.
Not all chunky.
Now that I think about it, in some ways, it kind of makes me think back to the Robo Ridley in Metroid Zero Mission.
Oh yeah.
Like it's kind of like a half and half between those two elements.
And now that I know it's coming, 3, 2,
No!
Yeah!
Bad Ridley.
Woulda.
Now sit down.
Take your medicine.
there!
I like how in cutscene, she tried to shoot him
tried
with
to
the
use
missiles.
missiles. Oh yeah, that wasn't cutscene. That was
Oh.
me trying to use a missile, but it didn't work.
I like
I
how
just
they were
edited
able
away
to
the-
do it in the cutscene, though.
Oh yeah, but that's it. We did it.
Also, despite how doom and gloomy it looks outside, don't worry, SR3D8's not in any real shit. This is just a natural stormy weather sort of thing for them.
Right.
We'll be back later, so
And yeah, pay no mind to that tornado in the background.
I'm sure.
Don't
Well, that's
worry,
why we're leaving, so
388 won't blow up. Shit.
Oh no.
It's like, now that I think about it, that block that I blew up to get to the other side might have been the self-destruct block.
Well, no worries. As far as I'm concerned, mission complete.
We're out of here.
No more Metroids are going to be made anytime soon now that the Queen Metroid's dead. And maybe we'll be able to study this baby Metroid, and I won't develop any attachments to it. So
None whatsoever.
that was
Nope.
Samus Returns. So again, I will say there are some features of it that I agree. I don't know if it captures the same isolation and like terror or forebodingness that people could argue the original Game Boy did, but I think in terms of gameplay and action-wise, I think that Mercury Steam.
Yep, it was Mercury Steam.
Mercury Steam did a phenomenal job of capturing this, the high octane, like, Metroidvania. Yeah, the design. And it was very satisfying to play and to learn, and I am looking forward to more projects from them. James, what do you think?
I mean, like I said before, having come a developer who mostly made games I'm very indifferent to, it was honestly a complete surprise that Samus Returns ended up being such a great game in general. And again, I do think part of it is because of their cooperation with Nintendo and whatnot, but also just, well, they're remaking a game that by and large was very much the black sheep of the series, and kind of giving it some of the necessary quality of life improvements from later installments. And in the long run, it's like there's really no reason to play the original game anymore, unless you're really curious to see like how it all started.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they now have brought this game up to a level of modernization that now the whole series is kind of up there.
That and I mean, it really, I guess it just does stand up a testament to how well this game did, like, critically. So much so that, it convinced Nintendo that maybe we should let these guys help us with the next major installment in the franchise, which they are with Dread.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What did you think, Matt, as the other big Metroid buff of this game?
I love it. I think this is probably aside from Fusion, maybe this is probably up there in my favorites. I really loved the game. I think it was amazing. And yeah, can't wait for Dread.
I would probably rank Zero Mission and Fusion a little above this, but otherwise, I would definitely say this is like number 3 of my top 3.
Oh, also, that's actually including the original. If I want to talk like the whole entire franchise, Prime 1.
Okay, yeah, no, I love Primal as well. What did you think, Hype?
It definitely looked... I agree with James that it definitely feels like the definitive way to play Return of Samus. I feel like that, from what I've seen so far, they definitely have a really good grip on just the... Maybe not like the complete atmosphere of Metroid, but definitely like the good feel of what a Metroid game would feel like, you know, just exploration, the use of Samus and all of her abilities and whatnot. Like, I think it's pretty much all done really well, and I like the liberties that they took here and there, and yeah, it pretty much makes me really interested to see how they're going to be handling Dread, because what's really funny is that, like, we brought up Fusion a while ago. Dread feels like it's definitely taking a lot of cues from Fusion, I believe, and I'm really interested to see how they handle that.
Which is something I'm surprised we forgot to mention. Originally, Mercury Steam wanted to try a Fusion remake, but when they brought the idea along to Nintendo, they were like, that seems fine and all, but how about you remake this game
That's
instead?
actually why Fusion mode is in this game.
Right, because you pretty much call back to
and also
their
why they
original...
have this coming up. Oh.
Right.
Oh,
which
it's after
doesn't...
it's after the finished screen, sorry. Gotta wait a little bit.
I don't show it off, actually, whatever you're talking about.
No, you do.
Wait, really?
You show it off. I can see it here.
Oh, that. Yes, sorry. That. Oh, right, yeah, the post cutscene. That's what I'm talking about. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the unlock Fusion mode. Anyway,
No.
I did it with less than 4 hours.
Yay, now we can see your inner Zero Suit, which, no, you cannot play the game with.
Oh, well.
No.
It's just here for fan service.
But hey, awesome.
Well,
I was actually...
You say it's for fan service, but to be fair, that's kind of a staple of the series.
Right.
Regardless, yes. Sorry, I thought you meant the little text box that says you unlock Fusion mode. No, I don't show that off, but I believe I do show this off, of course, which is
This is
let's see how
basically
SR388 is doing.
this is why I think
more
it said
Metroid.
Dread. They originally wanted to make a remake of Fusion because
That's Ridley's finger. Oh no.
Yeah, no more Metroids, which means the X are free to play again.
Oh boy.
and
Because
the
at
X.
some point we eradicated the Metroids without checking to see if the X parasites were eradicated either.
Now, I will definitely say, maybe after we're done with Dread, like, maybe they'll consider a Fusion remake.
A Chozo leader is visiting the Elder.
Ooh.
Oh, it
That's
looks
very
like
nice
a
of him.
nice, very diplomatic meeting there. And oh, what's going on, huh?
Oh.
Oh, he literally murdered them all.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. They're dicks.
I remember this legitimately creeping me out when I was able to unlock this myself.
Which means, people,
And-
yep, that's our villain of Dread.
Also,
Potentially.
what Logan failed to show off is that all of these Chozo memories are labeled in such a way.
Yes, 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, and so on.
Once you get that secret that secret ending portrait, there is it does change a little bit to reflect and more or less hint that yes, this was hinting at a future Metroid game, which
Hey,
it did.
I want to ask,
Yes.
before we end off, I do want to question, because I feel like it is something worth digging into. You guys were talking about how there's a fusion mode in this game. Like, what is the difference that fusion mode has compared to like a standard run of this game?
Well, it's harder first and foremost,
Yeah.
and secondly, you do get to wear the fusion suit.
Right.
Now, does
If
the
it-
fusion
it-
suit? Does the
nothing.
fusion suit offer any like different gameplay elements, or is it just
Absolutely
cosmetic?
not. It's just cosmetic to like prove it's kind of in the same vein as like if you're playing hero mode in Breath of the Wild, there'll always be a Triforce in the lower left of your loading screen or something like that.
But here's
It's just
here's also a thing as well with fusion mode. If I remember correctly, you actually take more damage from the Metroids, mainly because you are now part Metroid as well, and yeah.
But yeah, regardless, it's just a glorified hero mode.
Gotcha.
And
much.
with a suit to market. So, yeah. that was Metroid Samus Returns. I hope you all enjoyed. And yes, no, when we first saw that, and because yes, that's what James was talking about, is that picture gets marked as in red 2D out of 10, which is, hinting at there being a new 2D game, and Dread, oh, it's so cool. So yeah, definitely, with all that now paving the way, I am especially looking forward to Dread now.
It's such a delightful thing when something that got hinted years ago is finally brought to fruition.
Yeah. So, and unfortunately, if we want to get to Dread on this channel, we got a little bit of some groundwork to cover first.
A lot, actually.
Yep.
But don't worry, that just gives Matt all the more time to practice.
Yay.
And then some. Well, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you all next time for a Prime game next.
I guess so, and I guess it's going to have to be Hunters if it takes place between 1 and 2, so join us for Prime Hunters.
Till next time, everybody.
We'll figure it out in between videos. Bye.
What are you guys still doing here? Get out of the theater!